Okay, hey there everyone. Today we're going to be making my version of a little toothless dragon from How to Train Your Dragon. This is something I came up with. I'd seen some other dragons that were just real simple little dragons, and I came up with my own way of making him into toothless. So see, he's got his little fake tail fan, and he's got his little ears. So I'm going to show you how to make this guy. You don't have to use, I'm going to use black because obviously toothless is black. This guy I mixed black and gray, so since he's double banded I used one black and one gray for each one. But I don't really like the way he looks. So today when I make this guy, I'm going to make him all black again. But you can use any color. I made a white one too. So for this one, for this tutorial, you're gonna need 2 looms. But we only need 2 looms for his wings. Everything else is just on 1 loom. So if you know somebody else that has a rainbow loom, you can just borrow their. You just need 2 more pegs because we only use 5. You're gonna need black bands. You're gonna need some gray bands for his little claws. You're gonna need some green bands for his eyes, and some C-clips. And I use the C-clips because I actually put my wings through the middle of his body. But there are other ways you can connect them. I'll show you. I know 2 other ways that you can connect these guys. But I just shove them through the body and then I tie him off by his legs. So I use C-clips to temporarily hold him so I can push him through his body easier. Let's see. What else? Oh, you're going to need a few random color bands to tie off his other body parts. Because we have to make tail fans. We have to make his tail. We have to make his head. Oh, his head and his body go together. His little legs. So, here we go. So, we're starting with his wings because to get them out of the way. So, we're going to double band. So, it's 2 bands for every one. I'm going to try to do this right this time since I've already done this and messed up. Because it's been so long since I made this guy. Okay, so double bands. We're going to go up 3 times. We gotta go down 1. And I cannot get comfortable and do this on this couch. This is my little side table that I made, so it's right next to the couch and it seemed like a good place with the light right over it. Okay, so then we're gonna go down 3, 1, 2, 3. And then on the next row, I'm going to go down 4. 3. 4. And then the next row, we're going to go down 3. 1. Not tangled up. 2. 3. And now if you like this dragon, I highly recommend that you check out Courtney's page, or Courtney's channel, on she's How to Loom Your Dragon. And she does some really cool dragons. Looks like maybe I only used 1 band for this one. Okay, 1 band for this one. The rest are all double banded, but this one's only 1. Okay, now we're going to do our horizontal bands to hold it all together. So we're just going to make triangles. And you use 1 band for this. In my other video I used 2, and then it ended up being too bulky on the one end. Okay. And then 1 here. And then this one, instead of making a triangle, we're just going to go straight from this peg to this peg. Okay. So that's what you should have so far. There's our pattern, and then we've got the horizontal bands. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, now we've got to cap off these ends. So you go around 3 times and you get 4 loops. So 1, 2, 3. This obviously shouldn't be your first project if you're doing your first figure. So we went around 3 times, but it shows 4 times around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Same thing on this one. 1, 2, 3. Same thing on this one. 1, 2. Whoops. 2, 3. Make sure that's right. Yes. If they slip off, you just gotta do it again, because you want them to be 4. Now this guy, we're only going around, so it's just a doubled loop. So there's only 2 circles. So it's kind of loose, but that's okay, because that's actually what's going to attach to the body. These 2 things. Okay, so now we can loop. I'm going to do these guys first, because we want this row to be the last row we do. So we're going to go up this second row, under the cap band, if you push them down, you can get them easier. Okay, under the cap, or under the cross bands. Under the cap band. Make sure you don't grab those horizontal bands. Okay. And then this one, we go under the cap band and the horizontal band and grab our 1 band and pull it up. And then on this, we're going to pull these off. See these 2 loops? We want 1 loop under this band and 1 loop over. So if you put your hook under there, you can grab it and then you hold it with your fingers. And you lift up that horizontal band and put those back down. Okay. So now we're going to do our last loom, our last row, which is all the way up, and back over to where we started. That way that row is kind of on top. See how it goes over the ends of these guys? That's what we want. So you go under your cap band, and you go up, and then when you get to the point, it's a little bit tougher, because you got to find your bottom 2. That one's easy to see. And then kind of pull it, you can see you want to make sure you see your little teardrop shape. Same thing with this one, you gotta go all the way under and find that bottom 2. And this one too, all the way down and get the bottom 2. Okay. Yes, this will be much better with the C-clip. It's been a while since I made my guy. I've been working on the How to Loom Your Dragons. Okay, so we're going to put a C-clip on this one and a C-clip on this one. Now, if you don't want to use C-clips, like if you don't want your guys, well, I'll show you when we get to it. Okay, so I'm going to use the end of my hook, my other crochet hook, to pull these out so I can clip them. So you hold your C-clip and you push it down. And you make sure you get all the little guys. This one's much easier. You just go bloop and it goes in. Okay, now we can pull him off. If there's ones where there's more bands, I try to use the end of my other hook so you don't risk breaking any bands. And then you can kind of go bloop. And you go pop, 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 and come off. Hold your loom together. Okay. So, there we go. There's one wing. And that guy got stuck, so I gotta fiddle with it a little bit. There. So there's one wing. You can see this looks kind of funny, but that's fine because that's going to go through his body. So we got one wing. We need to make another one. So go ahead and rewind your video and watch how to do that again. And I will get back to you when I finish my second wing. Okay, so now we've got two wings. So now we can move on to the other parts. So we can take our loom and make it back into a single loom. You know what? Since I've got other projects that I'm working on, I'm just gonna grab my other loom. There. Ta-da! Like magic. Single loom. Except I need one of these bar holders. Okay. Look at that. It's magic. Okay, that way I don't have to put that all back together. Okay, so let's do... I guess we'll do his tail fins. Okay. So these are pretty simple. I mean, they're tiny little things. So we'll do the little guys first. So you just go with 2 bands. And then 2 bands. And what's that say? 1 band tripled. Okay, so this one, we're going around 3 times. 1, 2, so that's doubled. Oops, I can't hold on to it. Ugh. Dropped it. There we go. Whoop. I'm gonna drop it again. Okay. So these are 2 bands, and then this one is tripled. 1, 2, 3. We need 2 of those, so let's do another one just a little bit farther down. 1, 2. I'm going to double it. Just put it on. And you kind of cross it. And pull it back. So now it's tripled. That just makes it so it's nice and tight at the top. Now we're going to loop these inside ones back to their home. Same thing. Side ones back to where they were. Get around that little corner. Okay. So this is what you got. They look funny, but when you put them on him, they make the little point. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna grab our random bands to tie off those 4 ends. We're gonna need some more of those. Wow, did I really use that many on my last thingy? Okay, so there's more. I use the same ones over and over and over. Okay, so we're gonna tie these guys off with little half knots, little slip knots. So you put your hook in there, grab a band, and make a slip knot. Same thing. Same thing over here. Get your hook in there. Ooh, that one wasn't used yet. Must have grabbed the wrong orange one. Through those. So he has lots of little parts, but they all turn him into an awesome little dragon. Okay, so now we can pull these guys off. See? So now, when that gets attached to his body, it'll make a little point. So put those off with your wings. Same thing, pull these guys off. And you gotta make sure you don't break this tripled band, because if it breaks, this guy will just fall right apart and you'll have to do it again. So now we got wings and we got the little tail fins. I think I'm gonna need more of those orange ones. Hold on. Seem like I've used that many of those, but I guess I have. Okay. So, now we're gonna do the bigger tail fins. And one of those, if you're going with the first movie, it's brown. If you're going with the second movie, it's red. I'm gonna do red because it shows up really well. And plus I did see the second movie. Okay, now this one. Okay, this one we go, whoops, I gotta turn the loom back around. So we go with 1, 1, and 1. And then this row is 2, 2, and 2. And then we're going to double a band across these 3. So double it and stretch it over all 3 of those. Now I need red bands because I didn't think of that when I was telling you what colors you needed. Okay, so we only need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only need 10 red. Or if you're doing the brown tail fin, brown. So I'm just gonna do this. So we're just gonna do the same thing. 1, 1, and 1. And then 2, 2, 2, and then 1 doubled all the way across. Now see, they both look like they're going to be angled this way, but when we loom them, they come together. Okay, so that's all the red you're going to need, or browns you're going to need. Okay, so we're going to loom these, but we're not looming up, we're looming down. So you go in to that, because this thing is actually our cap band. So we loom down, and it's a little awkward because of the layout, but it will work. And when you do this one, since it's really loose on here, you gotta be careful not to lose any of the bands. Okay. And this one. And this one. Now, I'm going to take this off right now because I don't want it to break. So just go ahead and pull it. Because if that breaks, then you've got to do, like, because that's one band, so if it breaks, you got to do that all over again. So just so it doesn't stress itself while you're doing the other one. And then go in, grab that one. Grab that one, and then make sure that you don't pull that off. Grab that. Guy. Okay, and then again, I'm going to pull this guy off so it doesn't have to sit there for too long, stretched out. So this is what you've got. You got a black side and a red side. Now when we put it on, you have to remember that the red side goes on Toothless's left side. Okay, so now we've got to tie off all these with our random bands. So turn your loom around because it's easier. If you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, it'd be easier the other way. And then you put your hook in and you tie these guys. Which might not really be necessary, but we're going to do it, just in case. And there's that one. Whoops. Lost it. There's that weird orange one again. Okay. Now we can pull this one off. And you'll see how it's going to look when it's on him. Because these are going to be next to each other. So this is what it's going to look like. That's awful big. I guess it's okay. Because these will actually be hidden by his tail. So, this is what you get. Can you see it? Oh no. It's hard to see. So put that with your other pile. Now we gotta tie off the red ones. Excuse me. Now, hopefully the UPS guy doesn't come while I'm making this video, because my mom's little dog will go crazy. My package, I'm expecting, says it's out for delivery. Okay, now we can pull off the red ones. Come on. Get off of there. Okay. And you can kind of play with it. There's the red side. So that goes with our wings and our little tail fin pile. Okay, next is his toes. His legs and his toes. Now these guys I made like little, ow, that's splinter, little puppy paws. And they look really cute, but they're kind of hard to do. And I don't feel like doing a bunch of them. So this time we're just going to make little claws. So let's see. We're going to do them on the loom. Normally I wouldn't, but we're going to do them on the loom. Okay, so first is his legs, and then we do the feet attached to them. So 1, 2, 3. We'll just go ahead and do them all on the loom. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's fine. Now I'll do 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, let's see. We'll use our little crochet hook for this part. It almost seems like I might need... We're only going to do 2 at a time. It's easy enough to change this. I suppose. Crap. Well, whatever. It'd be nice if I could do this the right way. Okay. We're just going to put row in the middle because it's easier in the middle. Now we can take these off. Sorry everyone, I didn't think about this. Not doing the puppy paws would be this difficult. Okay. So we're just going to do 2 and then we'll do the other 2. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 black band doubled here and 1 black band doubled here. Same thing down here. Doubled. And doubled. Although this is going to make his legs a little longer. We'll do those. I am so sorry. I'm trying to figure this out as I go. We're going to do those in the claw color. That way his legs aren't that much longer. Okay, so gray for the claws. Because his legs are already a little too long, so we don't want to make him any longer. Okay, so these are 2 bands, 2 bands, 2 bands, and then these guys are doubled. 2 bands, 2 bands, 2 bands, and then these guys are double band. Now we're gonna make it so he has 3 claws on each foot. So there's 2, and we're gonna do 1 on our hook. So there, yeah. Whoop! Shot it across the room. So you go around your hook 3 times, so you have 4 loops. And then we're gonna double a gray and pull it onto there. So there's 1 little loop. And then we're gonna put that on the end of this guy. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, so there's 4 loops. We're going to double it. Pull it on there. I'm going to put that here. Whoop. Don't miss. Okay. Now we're going to do one that's 2 double bands. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, a doubled, and then we're going to do another double. Technically we could just do this here, I suppose. Yeah, let's do that. So there's a double there. So now we have 3 toes on both of them. There we go. Now we're going to put this little guy over here. You want to make sure you get all 4 loops on your little peg. There we go. So there's 1 foot done. This is taking a little longer than I thought, but that's what happens when you don't plan ahead for your little feet. Hopefully this doesn't turn this into a crazy long video. Okay, that goes on that one. And then after we do this, we've got to do two more legs, because obviously Toothless has 4 legs. Although some of the dragons are more bird-like and they only have 2 legs. But Toothless has 4. Okay. So what we're going to do is, I'm actually going to make, these are going to be his front legs. I'm going to make his back legs a little thicker. But now, we can loom. And see, now these are our little cap bands, so we don't have to cap them off. I don't think it really matters which one you do first, but obviously we're starting with the toes. I am going to make them so they're a little stacked. So this guy is gonna go, and then this guy and then this one. And then grabbing these 2 black ones, you gotta go all the way through all those little toes. And you gotta be real careful because you don't want your bands to break. Okay, so there's 1 leg. Same thing over here. I'm gonna do this guy first. And this guy. If you pull on the little toenail, you can get your hook in there. And this guy, see, it opens it up. Okay, now the easier part. Okay, so now we're going to grab 2 more of our random bands and tie those guys off. 1. And 1 over here. And you can pull those guys off. Then when you get to these, you're probably not going to help it. Either with your fingers or the end of a hook, because they're double bands, so they're tight, and there's a lot of them on that peg, and you don't want them to break. Doesn't look great, but much easier than the little puppy paws, and much easier to explain. That looks good, I suppose. Okay, so there's 1. Same thing. Pull this guy off. And you're going to want to help this one, because very tight. And then there's the second leg. Okay. Now the back legs, I'm going to do three bands. And then 3 bands. Oops, I've got all these over here that we can use. We'll throw them back over this in the box. So it's going to be 3, 3, and then 2. Then we're going to skip a couple pegs and do 3. 3 and 2. Now the double gray, and I'm gonna need more. Probably too much. Oh well. Now we do a double gray. Try to put them in the same order you did the other ones. So down to the right and to the left. Same thing. Down to the right and to the left. That way, when you loom them, they'll be stacked the same way. And hopefully this will make his back legs just a little bit thicker. Now we got to do our little toenail. So same thing. Oop, missed one. I always use a crochet hook for this because I find it easier to pull it over. But I'll show you. You can do it on the RAINBOW LOOM. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. Doubled. If you push up with your fingers on those loops, you can get it to go over the hook thing. So kind of like push up and pull them over. Push up and pull them over. So see, you can do it with your RAINBOW LOOM hook. It's just a little easier with the crochet hook. And same thing, make sure you get all 4 on there. I'm going back to my crochet hook because I'm so used to doing it this way. In fact, you can even just go ahead and do them all on there and then stick them on. So there's 1, and we need 3 more. 3. Shoot, I'm gonna need to get up and get more gray. I can't believe it. 1. I need 1 more gray. That one that fell on the floor. Okay. Okay, so it's 3, 4, yeah. So now you can, now that you've got them all loaded up, you can just do them real quick. Throw them on there. Try not to bump the camera with your head. I feel like I need more room on this. Urgh. If you catch the corner of the little U, it'll help you get those guys on there. It'll help separate the bands. There we go. So, all the little toenail guys are on there. Now we can loom. I'm going to do the same order that I did before. That way they look the same. Not that it really matters, but I'm kind of not really OCD about it, but I really like it when they match. So like if one foot's done the other way, it's just going to look just a tiny bit different. And then you gotta go down and grab 2. And then this one is 3 bands. Make sure you get all 3. Okay. Last foot. And then we can work on our tail. If you use a plastic hook, like your plastic Rainbow Loom hook, it might break. So I definitely, because these bands are very tight, so it's better if you use a plastic hook. I mean a metal hook than a plastic hook. You can either get a metal crochet hook. Everyone uses the Boyer crochet hooks on their videos. But now, I mean, now that there's the metal Rainbow Loom hook, you might as well just pay the $5 for the metal Rainbow Loom hook. Oh, gotta tie those off. I almost pulled it off without tying. That would have been bad. Okay, tie that one off. Grab another one, tie that one off. There we go. And if you just pull direct, ooh, that looks much better. So that one's a little beefier because it's his back leg. Okay, now see, you can pull that and then just kind of pull more directly on those little tight bands. Oh, that looks great. Okay, so now we have 2 back legs, 2 front legs, 2 wings, our tail fin pieces, and then our big tail fin pieces. So now we're going to work on his tail, which is pretty simple. I mean, it's just a chain with the little things attached. And this is going to go all the way from the top to the bottom. Yeah. What fell? Oh, my hook. Okay. So, we're going to double band all of this and just go from the top one all the way to the bottom peg down here. So, however long that is. And double band it. Okay, now, before I forget, we're going to cap off this bottom one. That one's already been stretched. Okay, so you go around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now, small tail fin goes on these 2. The 3rd and 4th. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put one of these on one side. It's easier with the hook. I was hoping to not have to do it with the hook. Okay, get all this junk out of the way. Little body parts everywhere. Ah. Okay, so this is going on the third and fourth peg. Third peg. Pull it back over this way. If you hook that guy, if you hook your end cap onto here, it'll hold it in the right direction for you. Okay, so he's on the third and fourth peg. And it doesn't look like it's going to stick out very far, but it doesn't really stick out very far, so at least on my guy. Now we're going to take off these holding bands. Just grab it with your hook. Okay. Now we're going to grab our other one, do the same thing on the other side. Except, yeah, just do the same thing on the other side. I really don't like it when it's like that. Okay, what we're gonna do. This is gonna seem a little silly, but if you put these guys right on top of here, it's gonna like stack like this. So one's gonna be higher than the other one. So what I do is I'm going to take two of these bands and pull them over this way. So when I put these guys down, it'll kind of be like layered. So it'll be less on top of each other. It looks crazy, but so take the top two of the four you just put on and just stretch them off to the side. It doesn't matter how they look. Okay, now we're gonna take these guys and put them on here. Same thing, grab that little capping band and just pull it off over there. That way you know you're getting it in the right place. Okay, now pull these bands off. Usually you can just grab it with your hook. There. And like I said, I just reuse my holding or my tie-off bands over and over, so I can use them on multiple projects. I think I just bumped that again with my head. Whoa! It's my cell phone on my tripod, and I bumped it. Okay. Now I moved it probably. Okay. So, grabbing that tie-off band. Got distracted again. Okay, now these, we're going to do the same thing, except we're just going to use our hook. So we're going to grab those top two, and pull it off onto our hook, and then the top two, and pull it off onto our hook. We're just going to leave our hook like that. Now we can put these two back the way they were, and these two back the way they were. And now we can put these two where they were, and these two where they were. And it just makes it so, like I said, so it's not so obvious that one's on top of the other. They're still one on top of the other, but they're kind of dovetailed in. So it's less high. Now, unfortunately, we have to do the same thing with the other guys. Where'd they go? It doesn't really matter which side you put it on. your red one, because we can attach, this tail is going to attach to the body whichever way we tell it to attach to the body. So I'm just going to put my red side on this way. We're going to do it like this one was the third from the top. This is going to be the third from the bottom for the bottom one. These are only single bands, so they're a lot easier to do this. So like that, and like that. And then you can pull those guys so they're off to the side. And we pull off our tying bands again. Woo! Trying to knock everything off the table. Dang. There, one. Okay, sorry about that. My phone told me I couldn't record anymore. Okay. So we've got the tying band off of this one and this one. Get this one off and it's a bunch tighter. Let's see if I can just do it with my fingers. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, black ones. This one we're going to do the same thing though. We're going to take the top band, and the top band. And then we're going to put our black bands on there. That was not a good idea. I thought maybe I could just do them first. Okay. Try to take the tie-off bands off first so I don't have to deal with it, and it's not even helping. Okay. Back on there. Okay. Okay. So we're going to put those all on there. Stretch this capping band off. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take the top black. Whoop. Don't grab that red one. And the top black. Just onto our hook. That way we can put these guys back where they were. Now we can put these black ones back where they were. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you don't want to go through all that, you don't have to. You can just put the red ones on, and then put the black ones on. And then on these, just put the black ones and then black ones. But I just like when they're less obviously stacked on each other. Now, we can just loom. Woohoo! This is the easy part. So you go under your capping band. Where are we? Okay. Under the capping band. And then these, you gotta go to all the way to the bottom and get those bottom black ones. All the way to the bottom and get the bottom black ones. You'll know you did it right if you got your little tear, your raindrop shape. If you grab the wrong one, put it back and kind of push it down. So like Like if, oh no, I grabbed the wrong ones, you can just grab them off, put them back on, and then kind of like push them back down to the bottom. Okay, this one's going to be harder because they're all black, so you can't really tell. So if you hold your loom to the side, you can see where the bottom two are, so you can grab it. And same thing, hold to the side, and you can see the bottom two. Okay, now we're going to grab one of our tie-offs and tie off this end, and we're going to see how beautiful our toothless tail is. And you can look, make sure you got them all. It's always a good idea because you don't want to miss anything. I'm going to pull these back to where they were so they're not attached, and then you can just go bloop bloop bloop, and there we go. There's this little tail. See, these just kind of look like little bumps, so kind of pull them out a little bit. And see, now you've got a little tail. Okay, so we've got our tail, we've got 4 legs and 2 wings. Now we're ready to do his body. But before we do his body, I'm going to, let's see, toes, squiggly eyes, 4 legs. Why would I do the eyes first? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we gotta do his little mouth. And it's just a little bump that goes on. So what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna use my hook for this because I've got so many of these things that have to be done. So the mouth is 1, 2, 3 times around, so you get 4 loops. Then we're going to do 2 bands. Pull that on. 2 bands. And 2 bands. So there's his little mouth. It looks really long, but half of this is just going to be in his body anyway. So there's a mouth. Put that off to the side. Then we need 2 horns. See, he's got little horn things on the side. Those are his little ears. So we need 3 times around. And then it just goes on a single band. And there's one of those. Whoop. Make sure it's towards the middle so you don't lose it. Okay. And then one more of those guys. 1, 2, 3 times around, and then on a single band. Whoop. Make sure you get all of them. Okay. Now these, as long as you don't touch them, they should be good on their own. Okay, then we need his little top knot, which he doesn't really need one. I mean, I'm just going to do it because I did it before. I guess it just looks like another little ear. Who knows? 2, 3 times around. And then it's on 2 bands. I don't know if I'm even going to use that one. We'll see. So there's a top knot. And then toes we did. eyes. Okay. Now, this might be a little difficult for people that haven't done eyes before, but it's gonna be okay. These aren't the standard eyes, so we don't need as many as I thought. Okay, so we're gonna do black. 1, 2, whoops, dropped it. 1, 2, 3 times around, so you see 4 loops. Kind of roll it a little bit. Now this is a little different. So we're going to take one green band, and you put it on so it's past the black, and you go twice, or so once around, so there's 2 loops, and then you do once around, twice around, so there's 2 loops on the other side. So this is what you get. So there's like the pupil and then the green part. And then this is going to go on one band, it says. Okay, so it's going to go on one black band. And you want these to stay in order, so